All right, let's jump right in. Something big is brewing in the world of industrial automation. I'm talking about a massive shift, a movement that's getting so much steam it's landed its own dedicated workshop at a huge industry conference. So let's break it down.
So let's get into it. We are talking about what a lot of people are calling the next chapter for automation. How our factories and industrial systems are actually put together and operated. And look, this isn't just some minor software update. We're talking about a complete fundamental rethink of the whole thing.
And that really begs the question, right? Why is this happening now? I mean, we've had decades of doing things a certain way. So what's pushing the industry to completely rewrite the rules? Is it because we need things to be faster, more flexible, or has the tech just finally caught up with the long-held dream? You gotta ask, what's the problem that's so big it needs a brand new playbook? Well, a huge part of the answer comes down to this: IEC 61499. Now, I know, that just sounds like a bunch of letters and numbers, another technical standard. But stick with me, because what it does is the really cool part. It's an open standard, and its whole job is to separate the software, the brains of the whole operation, from the actual physical hardware it's running on. And trust me, that is an absolute game changer.
And we're not talking about a small, tiptoeing kind of change. The ambition here is massive. Just look at this quote from universalautomation.org, one of the key groups pushing this forward. Their motto: let's rewrite the rules of automation. I mean, come on, that says it all, doesn't it? This is a huge vision.
So where is all this happening? Where are these new rules being hammered out and shared with the world? Well, it brings us to a very specific event, a real focal point for the whole industry. Let's talk about the gathering, ETFA 2025.
Yeah, the main event is the 30th IEEE Conference on Emerging Technologies and Factory Automation, ETFA for short. And right in the middle of it is the session we're zoning in on, Workshop 03. It's a full day, totally dedicated to IEC 61499. It's all going down on September 9th, 2025 in beautiful Porto, Portugal. But what makes this so interesting is who is behind it. This isn't just some big company trying to sell you their new gadget. No, this is a real collaboration. You've got industry champions like universalautomation.org, you've got crucial open source projects like Eclipse Fortiac, and you've got top-tier universities like JKU Linz and Aalto University all working together. That's a serious lineup.
Okay, so we've got the who, the what, and the where. Now let's peek inside the workshop itself. What on earth are they going to be talking about for an entire day? Let's find out.
So a big goal for the organizers is to get the academic world and the industry folks talking to each other. And you can see that right here. I mean, you've got presenters from universities like JKU Linz and Aalto, and they're sharing the stage with absolute industry heavyweights like Schneider Electric and Kongsberg Maritime. This is exactly where the high-level theory crashes into real-world practice.
And if you boil down the whole day's agenda, a few key themes really jump out. First, there's a huge focus on the open source tools that make this all work. We're talking Eclipse Fortiac. They're also going to dive into things like OPAF, that's the Open Process Automation Forum, and tackle really practical stuff like how do you commission equipment when it's from different vendors. And of course, they'll show off a bunch of real-world examples of this stuff in action.
And if you're looking for a sign that the big players are taking this seriously, this is it. Schneider Electric, a single company, is presenting 2 separate deep dive sessions. I mean, when a global giant like that doubles down, it's not just a casual interest, it's a massive signal of commitment. They're not just dipping a toe in the water, they're literally helping to build the ship.
So all of this, the standard, the teamwork, all the research, it's all pointing in one direction. It's all about a single ultimate goal, a vision for a totally different kind of factory. Let's talk about what they call the plug and produce future.
So this makes you think, okay, why should someone get involved? What's in it for them? Well, the organizers actually lay out 3 really clear reasons. Number 1, you get to help build the entire ecosystem around this new open standard. 2, you can network with the absolute experts, the people who are defining the cutting edge. And 3, you get to be part of this whole movement, fostering innovation by finally breaking that link between software and hardware.
And this phrase right here, this is what it's all about. This is the end game. The goal is a plug and produce future. Just think about that for a second. Imagine a factory floor where you can unplug a robot arm from one company, plug in a brand new one from a totally different company, and it just works. No drama, no custom coding. That is the dream.
So when you strip it all away, the big idea, the main takeaway, is a massive philosophical shift.
It's about making a deliberate choice to move away from those old-school vendor-locked systems, the ones that have dominated the industry for decades, and moving towards a future that's open, collaborative, and where new ideas can flourish way, way faster.
And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. As all these experts from both the academic and the industrial worlds get together in Porto to really push this thing forward, you can't help but wonder, is this it? Is this the moment when industrial automation finally lives up to its name and becomes truly universal?